This is I'm not going to talk to myself, so I'm just going to do some admin work till someone pops up, and then I'll start talking. I'll look at my comments. And we're going to listen to my boy's new CD band. It's called, someone's got to have heard of Boys of Fall. Let me get this up. Can I share this screen? What the fuck? One sec. All right. Let me see if I can swing this over here. All right. Damn it. All right, I'm just gonna go over this then. Where are we at here? All right, so cool. So the reason why I'm doing this is, I don't know. I live and breathe by the motto of just, pay it forward. So, in my opinion, I feel, there's a lot of wrong that's going in this, the sales industry. I feel like, there's a lot of questions. And again, I think that, we need to just point the finger back on, leadership and, coming from someone that, has ran teams, it's our job to practice what we preach and actually lead by doing. And I think a lot of times now, especially now, you have these, again, I see these, just so much belittling. And then everyone wants this like fame, whatever. I just got sick of it. I think I could do a better job. I'm not saying I'm somebody, but I think I know a little bit about a little bit. And I wanted to just kind of just really just give real information. I'm in the trenches still to this day. It's not going to be like, oh, cheer up, bucko. Here's a million emojis. Like, listen, I'm not here to put any tactic down or anything like that, but I'd rather just come in. This guy, dude. Give us a question. Are you still on? Oh, can I respond back? Anyways, that's actually a customer of mine. Funny story. I'm not even going to say it because I probably just want me to tell you. Anyway, so where were we at? So yeah, so this is actually like just tailored to, this is tailored obviously to supply chain logistics, but you can actually just use it to any sale you are in, because at the way I see it is in my head, what does my like supply chain, what does it impact, right? How many departments, how many people does it impact? And then higher level, does it impact that company, right? So it's like when I talk about it, I talk about it all the time, but I talk about like a ripple effect of, what you know, what operations does affects, what sales does affects. They all intertwine. So if you are not in supply chain or logistics, you can still take that process and utilize it, just tailor it to whatever yours may be. And lastly, I know that my transportation logistics salespeople are gonna, assume that, because I don't do transactional sales, or that it is like my wholesale is like a one-stop shop. Well, this you can still use this, because I think about it. We're a commodity, a huge commodity, right? And I think the transactional brokerage is more of a commodity than like me, or than the few of us out here that are doing like all in approach. I would still try to think about like how can I step outside the box and put myself in a better position, not to have to be like, again, looked at as just a rate person. And even further, I would challenge to go a little bit more in depth on, shoot, how not to, yeah, and not to use like, hey, we do good customer service, we'll get your truck there. I mean, again, I think that just should happen. I think that customers don't, yes, it's a value, but it's not like something, it just shouldn't happen. It's like, I always think about that. It's like, that's like, I mean, is that a good analogy? It would be like me like going to like marry my fiance and having to ask her like, yo, you're not gonna cheat on me, right? Like, it's just something. I mean, it happens, but it's just something you don't think. It's just something you shouldn't have to announce. So again, even if you like, for instance, transactional, right? You can still do accounting. Why not call accounting and say, hey, listen, what's your process like? And what if it's busted? And that just gets you in there and lets you get all the freight that you never know. So it's like, again, you can still use this if you're transactional. So let's just go over this. I simplified it, but this is something I still use today. And I always have to qualify something. So, what I've seen, again, moving in a couple companies, is a lot of people don't really know what they're targeting as of like, what is a good lead? Usually, like, for me, I have to, and again, I don't spend hours on it, but it's like, I want to know if this is even worth pursuing. I think a lot of times, again, I see is people would just call through like a lead list and not really have any type of action. Like, every call I do is like, I have some type of action that I want to get out of the call. And so, again, in this industry, let's face it, we're blowing up transportation people left and right. They don't want to hear from us. And it sucks for me because I don't want to be on a rate. I'm not trying to actually do business. I'm just trying to get a couple key points of information on like what they're, doing and the process is like. So I just said, hey, early on, I was like, man, who doesn't get blown up? And it was accounting. So, and it's finance, right? It's like, and from my standpoint, I was like, okay, if this is money. So I want to have a financial discussion with an executive. I'm going to talk to accounting. So reason why I'm looking over here, it won't come over here. But so questions, right? I kept it pretty simple. First question is basically, I'll role play it kind of for whoever is listening. So first question, it's like, okay, you found the person, like, because all accounting people aren't in charge or paying bills. So you make sure you find that person, but say we were there already, and it would just be more or less like hey, how do you pay your freight bills? How are they coming in? How are your freight bills or invoices coming in? And I always don't lead to those points where it's like don't go, hey, does your bills come in per shipment? So I always see is like, even myself, even today, we lead someone to the answer we want to hear. And it happens more than you think. So I would say is, I would shut up after, hey, how are you getting your invoices or bills for your transportation? And then shut up. Then I use that if they don't answer, or it's kind of like, well, we get a little bit of everything. And then it's like, okay, so is it per shipment, email? You get it. Same thing goes with this. It's another one. It's like, how are you capturing cost? So if you don't know what like capturing cost is in my head, I'm thinking about like, there's companies are doing some way, somehow allocating, breaking it down by something, usually. And again, the biggest one I see is the quoted versus billed. So when it could be any type of like, okay, so transportation got a quote on the front end, on the back end, they were billed different. So it's obviously situational how the processes are in every company. But again, I wouldn't say broken, but like a more manual process would be, hey, transportation gets the quote, puts it in Excel, and then shoots that Excel for that week of billing over to the accounting team. And then the accounting team, once they get the bills, match it up. And then they're matching it up by either like a GL code probably, or a PO number. But they're matching those up to make sure that, hey, this is what we were quoted, this is what we were billed. So then I didn't put it on here, but again, if you wanted to get a little, if the person you're talking to is actually cool, you can get a little bit more granular with them. So if they say, yeah, we actually, and it's common, we actually do that same process, I go a step further, go a little deeper and say, okay, cool. So when something doesn't match up, what are you doing? What's the process like? Get a little bit more deeper into that. And an example would be, what is it? Basically they have to go back to the transportation person before they pay the bill. And that just is a mess if whoever they're using, if they're using multiple people. So if it's not an already streamlined process, stuff like that takes a ton of time, and they usually end up just like eating the cost. And then some other ones are, department, location, if they have multiple locations. That's another thing. That's a bullet point in my head, at least. If I ask location, or they say, yeah, we allocate by location. So it's like, okay, now they got multiple locations. I always try to like think about these things as I'm like you call it a cold call, call it a qualified call. I don't care what you call it, but I'm always thinking about stuff like that. And then like customer. And then this last one, it's a little bit more, you know what, screw it. I was going to say it's a little bit more towards, who am I to say? Like, I would still be using this if I was a transactional person, or I mean, I don't think anybody wants to just slang freight. I mean, if you get it all, get it all. If you can, so yeah, you definitely pay attention to this if you want. How is your transportation cost allocated into your pricing model? So when I say, so what I mean by that is like, so percentage of sale is usually the 9 times out of 10 is what I hear. So the cost of sale, right? So something is, if it's $100 for me, I'm going to tack on 10% of that sale to, I'm going to tack on 10% of the sale of their sale and give it to them. I was going to get a little deeper on that, but and then just hey, that's the charge of transportation. With, again, if you're detailed into that and they had some like a not root cause, but what would I say, a cost to serve analysis, and knew like accurately how to do it, then it's great, right? But it's like a lot of times I ask deeper questions, and it's like, okay, so how did you come to the conclusion that it was 10%? Because not every product, not every customer, and especially not locations, are going to be the same. So again, if it was percentage of sale, I would, in my head, I would think, okay, then I'd ask that deeper question, like, how did you come to that? Or they say they get free shipping. Well, again, it's free shipping is not free shipping, but so then I build a case, right? So now it's like, okay, I get off the call, I go to my CRM. I'm like, is ADD and unorganized as like certain things are in my life. I'm pretty detailed. I'm actually overly detailed when it comes to like my CRM, my notes, and all that. So current state would be what I discovered from this call, right? So current state gets a mixture of each, right? In my head, I make it smaller too. You got to like learn to abbreviate certain things. Manually capturing quoted versus billed. I already know that in my head that, okay, this is there's a problem there. Challenge. And then adds a flat 10% for transportation. I probably would have like, again, put, because in my head, I know it, but like, again, I say that, but I probably would have forgot. I probably would have put under that, has never done a cost to serve analysis. Just, again, it's a guesstimate. Doesn't know how they came up with the number. And then I want to put what's the outcome of their current state or challenge, right? Well, obviously it's time. It's paying more and not knowing the root cause. then, properly allocating, you're losing margin potentially, right? And manually capturing quota versus build. So now what? So for me, I would probably call, like, this is a good lead. Like, depending on, like, I would actually ask for, like, probably spend from the accounting person. But that gets a little tricky if you're not. Yeah, I mean, usually they give it, but it's like, it just depends. So just stick with that. But for me, even if so if I don't want spend, I used to, when I was like earlier in my career, I utilized bills as shipments. So I would say is like, how many bills are coming in? So I obviously he doesn't speak like shipping. So I had to, like, break it down into accounting terms, or finance. So I would say is, instead of saying, hey, 1-2 shipments, I'd say, how many bills on average do you see come through your desk? I don't know, a week, ballpark me. And then it would almost be like, and then I would ask, here's a way to get, like, what's the vendor name on there? If you want to, like, know the vendor, instead of saying, hey, what's the carriers, what's the vendor? So you got to just switch a couple words. But now, so I would probably call, if I had, like, I got enough information for me to call probably the executive on this end and be like, and have that conversation. But again, I have to write these bullet points down. I got to look at it. I don't spend, I like to, like, maybe practice a little bit, but when I say practice, I mean, I don't spend too much time beforehand. Like, I try not to go for, like, my best lead and rip like a meeting call. I try not to do that. Like, I try to warm up a little bit, but I'd like to have these in front of me so it's detailed. I know where I'm going to go. So I always put future state, right? In my head, this is what I want to build out or what I want to present, consolidated invoicing, tailored reports and tailored reports on quoted versus billed, explaining the variance of why, root cause. Why did you have those kind of, why did you have those dings? And then cost to serve analysis. So those are my 3 points that I want to have this discussion with Mr. CFO or whoever I'm reaching out to. And then outcome. You got to have an outcome, right? So that, I let them know what they're doing. I'll do a demo of what I do from a setting a meeting standpoint. But so outcome would be just like time saved, enhanced visibility by 5%. Or enhanced visibility, I should have put a dash, 5% back in the company from mitigating, rebills, quoted versus billed. And again, nothing's like, I know someone might be like, oh, that's not hard numbers. No, it's not hard numbers. But again, it's for me, that's what I've seen. It's not like it's not true, especially on the 12%. And then it's like a 12% increase in profitability from properly allocating your bills or your transportation costs into your pricing model. So let's go deeper in this. I can talk all day. I don't even know how to work this. No one's commenting, so I don't even care. I was going to do a video on this anyways. So a few more things. So that's why I don't say all 3 bullet points when I call right off the bat. Like, so if I want to get a meeting, it's more or less like, hey, Mark. So what do I got here? I got time, paying. Hold on, guys. I got to do this. Because this is, can you guys see me? Oh, well, whatever. I'm just going to do this. This is cool. All right. So I don't know if you can see me or not, but all right. So if I'm calling, thank you, sir.
There he is. Although my headphones aren't working now.
What'd you say?
No.
Hey.
Can you hear me? There he is.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're talking about qualifying accounting, huh?
Yes, dude. And Nick said he's coming in.
Oh, good. We just hung up on our last call.
Oh, really?
How do we see if they're...
Did you catch it? What'd you say?
How do we see their comments or stuff? Who's Tia?
I have no idea. Maybe Nick? She just left.
All right, peace.
She saw you, dude. But did you catch any of this? Dude, I was on a rant. I was like, dude, can you see the comments? That's my
No, all I can see is private chat. Oh, comments, I see StreamYard said something, and I see Nick said he's popping in.
Yeah. Oh no, he must have. You can't see it. I was like the only one. I was like, what a good guy, dude. My customer supports me.
That's good. Well, I'm here now. I'm not your customer, but I guess I mean kind of. I never paid my bills, but like, so accounting, huh?
Dude, you.
There he is.
Hey,
Dude.
How can we see if there are there people watching right now? How many people?
I don't know where that's at. People are. I have no idea. I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
So, did you guys catch any of this?
oh shit.
No, we were on the phone, man. We're trying to make.
Hang on, I had this going on LinkedIn and here. I had two things going on.
Nick, on LinkedIn, how many people are watching?
No idea.
Okay, cool. Well, mahalo to us then, huh?
I literally. So it's so funny. Let's get deep. I don't care. Real quick though, Ryan, you're right though. So like, I don't know why I just like I kind of texted you that. I was like, I just want to give this shit out.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Right.
Look, it's all about. Listen, I say this all the time. Ideas are cheap. Execution's everything. Right.
Oh.
Like ideas are cheap. You gotta. It's all about getting down to the execution. Like not knowing what to do. It's not knowing how to do it. It's about actually getting down and doing it.
No,
and like most people aren't willing to do the dirty work. They want to think their way through the problem. Like, and I totally agree about working smart. But you also got to work hard. You got to execute.
No, you're spot on, dude. So my whole model on this thing was, it's like, dude, I know for a fact, like, there's probably like, there's so many people out. No, seriously, there's so many people out there that I feel like probably need help. And there's so much noise in whatever industry you're in. Right. And I just think it's like, dude, I've been in that situation too. So I was just like, whatever, dude, I might know a little bit. I'm not some sales guru, but I'll just give it out and explain it. So this is where we're at. You guys get a free lesson. You cheap ass, Nick. I'm just kidding.
What?
Sure. What happened to those creepy ass dolls though, bro? Are we done with those, or like we bringing those back?
I got the Christmas ones coming.
So like, what do you got? A creepy ass, like, what are those little guys called? Elf.
Elf.
You gotta do an elf on the shelf for behind you, and now on your content.
Dude, I need to have something. All right, but seriously though, so what I was saying is, I wanted people to know, like, you can use this in any industry, right? Like, I think any industry. I look at this. I say, before I do anything, I take a look at what does supply chain impact, right? And what people and what departments. And I think another biggest thing is qualifying. And like, when I say qualify, it's funny, because again, moving away from, I can always just give credit to Worldwide for sales training, but moving away from them, there was a big lack of like what to do. What do you do, right? It was more or less like people were just calling companies. And I think that's like calling them blind. Like people would call companies, you don't even know if it's even qualified. So having some kind of action to every time you make a dial is important. And accounting just seems to be, to me, I realized accounting was the best bet because, again, I wasn't looking for transactional business. And let's face it, shipping managers, transportation managers are beat up. So they don't care if I'm not, they're just going to hang up more times than not.
The easiest way to lose a customer is in the back office. And it's one of two things. Either you can't, like, they're not paying their bills because because you're not helping them pay their bills by doing this stuff right? So you run out of credit shuts them down, etc. Or, and especially in a managed trans environment like you are, if you can't get billing right, what's the value of what you're offering? Sure, you're saving them a little money, etc. and so forth. But like, if you're constantly sending, B bills, right, reclass reways, so you're sending all of these different invoices and it gets confusing, you're not making their job any easier by doing managed transportation. You're making their job harder. So the back office is a huge, huge area. I was talking to Steve Aborn from Aborn & Co. about this recently. That's what you got to get right as managed trans provider.
But think about this.
Example of that. I lost a customer based on billing. We were saving her money on the truckload side, but she wanted her invoices sent in a really particular manner. And for whatever reason, we couldn't fucking figure it out. Can I swear on this? We couldn't figure it out. And
you did it? I don't think the FCC is coming in, bro.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anybody. I think we have one watcher, and it's my customer.
We have 5. I'm on LinkedIn. I got LinkedIn over here. It says we have 5 people watching. It means I'm one of them, and I don't know if it counts I don't know if it double counts me from being in here. So we have anywhere between 1 and 4 people watching right now.
And
Setting the world on fire, guys.
You know what's sad? All right, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, we could not figure out how to invoice her appropriately for various reasons, but like the costs we were saving her on the truckload side just wasn't worth it to her. The hassle wasn't worth dealing with.
It isn't, dude. It's never about, like, realistically, dude. If you, like, you know how many times that I've said, like, early in my career where I've came into like the CFO and I said we in a room saving him money, and unless it's like a lot of money, like, you got to save someone so much money. If someone doesn't like you, they're not going to go with you. If the process is going to be shitty, dude, unless you save extreme amounts. And let's face it, that's not like, I don't see that ever happening.
Well, it also goes to the point about it being a mutual fit. Like, if your go-to-market strategy is just spray and pray, right, and try and find like, just get freight in the door. It doesn't matter what it looks like, et cetera, and so forth. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing your customers a disservice, right? And so if your company wasn't able to appropriately service that business, like, it wasn't a good fit, right? Like, they needed to work with somebody who they needed to work with somebody who could meet those needs, and you needed to work with a shipper who could be a good partner for you and actually, like, meet your operations. And that's modal capabilities, and that's also that's also operational and overhead capabilities. So if their demands for tracking are more than you can really than you can meet and service economically, like, it's just not a good mutual fit, and spray and pray doesn't make sense.
So, dude,
yeah, I mean, like, I focused.
Nick, maybe let Mike say something. He hasn't talked in a while.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Dude, I actually I should just.
I also hear your children in the background, so, like.
Oh, they're downstairs screaming. So
yeah, and I can still hear them.
Bro, are you kidding? Nick's not gonna go take care of his children when we're talking accounting.
Yeah, for sure. Well, his wife's got it. She's definitely crying, but it's fine.
But no, more or less, like, dude, like, it's like frustrating because it's like, one, here's the bottom line is there's not enough people that are, and I don't want to say like me, but there isn't, that are, people just think, like, I think is in brokerage or like any type of thing, it's just so transactional. And like, even if I'm screaming it, and I'm not trying to sit here and say, hey, I'm going to change the minds of everybody, but like, it's for people's own good to realize that there's so many things that, and again, I say this every day, there's so much stuff that impacts a company versus just a rate. And I think that it goes to, like, it's like, dude, we all say we give good service. We all, like, it always goes back to, well, they're not accepting the tender or whatever the hell they, like, those guys talk about. It's like, dude, but can anyone else acknowledge that? Like, think about this. Everyone's like, well, why are these rates? Why are these rates? But nobody ever asked the question, where's the CEO? Where's the CFO? Why aren't we asking them? Stop bringing on influencers, which is fine. But like, those are those questions. It's like, that's how shit's going to get changed. Like, you can't just change it by, like, it's like going in circles. So let's not go in circles and let's dive into accounting.
Well, the other thing I like about how you go about your sales process, Mike, and how it's different from most salespeople is you help your buyers understand things about their organization. And that does two things. One, it shows you actually care about their business and you're less transactional. So even if you were selling transactional freight services, right, it shows that you've done the groundwork. This was Nick too. This is what I always loved about working with Nick in his sales process. It showed he was willing to put in the effort to get the business, so that it tells them tacitly what you're willing to do when you service the business. The other part of it is if you can uncover things in their organization that helps them learn more about their organization, you are showing value before you ask for value, right? And those are two really different things in the sales process that most people don't see. You, buddy. Good night. Bye, Olive. That most people don't do or think about.
No, I feel like I got you. I mean,
of course you do, because you do it, and that's what I like about your process. But it's the spray and pray, for sure. To your point about it worldwide, they taught you how to hammer the phones. Echo was the same way when I was there. They taught you how to hammer the phones. I'd never hesitate to hire somebody from Echo because they know one thing. They know how to get after dialing the telephone, right?
Yeah.
But could they think their way through an account? Could they think their way through a sale? Some of them.
That was the coolest part, though, Ryan. It was like, it really taught, like, again, it just taught, like, it's like, you always, I mean, we talk offline and you say it, it's just like, I think sometimes I think more or less like I assume some people should think like this, right? Or it's like, but I think we just need to like, I said it on Dan's little podcast and I was just like, I think that it's us in the industry. Like, and dude, if I can help someone out, like, I don't care about like, this does nothing for me, right?
Yeah.
Other than makes me feel good because I know like people should be killing it out there. And I don't, and again, I know that every company is situational, but it's like, dude, I think I'm more or less like we were saying it. I just need to literally like stop biting my tongue on some things. Cause it's like, again, I don't want to sit here and cause like, I don't want to be some guy that's like, oh, he thinks he's a guru. No, but I probably could hold my own to most in the industry.
Well, to your point about like, hey, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? I'm fat as shit now, but I played soccer when I was a kid. You know, when I was like 10 or 11 years old and we're playing like the 13 or 14 and 15-year-old team in scrimmages. And, you know, that's a big difference in physical maturity at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, oh, there he is, Cahill in the comments. You know, I would talk about
Kevin, pop in. Kevin was probably Tia.
Yeah, Kevin might have been Tia, like, because he is an ant. But you know, we play the third, and I go to my coach. I'd be like, "Why are we playing these guys? They're just running us off the field." And it's because you get better, right? You get better by playing up, and so you know, certainly that's always been my approach.
Yeah.
The industry gets better, you know, and I'm not on the provider side anymore, so it's maybe a little easier for me to say. But if the industry gets better, I don't have to be transactional. If the industry gets better, I'm better for it. Right? Like my experience in the industry is better for it, right?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, what did Kevin say? You do this, talk to him. But like, no, so I just feel like though, here's the thing is it's like, I think that more or less like this is where people need to start thinking about like real business outcomes and think about like, again, even if I was transactional, even if I called you Sauce, even if I was transactional, Ryan, that's what
it's Sauce money. That's me, bro.
Right. But because I don't want because people all assume that I said that in the beginning. I was like, you know, everyone's going to be like, well, your business model is different. You go all in. But if I was doing things different, like if I was doing the transactional way, right, that's we're already a commodity. That's a bigger commodity. I would figure out what does it hurt you to call accounting? What does it hurt you to dig a little deeper and call sales? Like there's so many.
I always had relationships. I always had a relationship with the person who was managing the bills at my customer. And even if I wasn't the one who was calling them all the time, right? Like I had accounting will call it, but I always had a relationship with them.
Right? I would say know everybody in your company. And then lastly, it's just like, here's the thing is it's not, you only know what you know. And I said in the beginning, it's like, dude, I've led teams. It is and trust me, I am not like I'm a certain breed, right? It's like, you're not going to come with me and I'm not going to manage you if you want tight knit, everything's, you know, on point, but you're going to come with me if.
Yeah, you're all over the place. We were all watching this. You're all over the place. We get it.
100%. But it's like, dude,
we've seen the dolls
because I do my shit and I get shit done and I care. That's just the difference. And I think it's our leadership is like really beaten to like it's like there's like none. It's either they want to be a sales guru or they just don't teach.
Yeah, for sure.
So
all right, what are you saying about qualifying for accounting? I interrupted. Keep going, bro.
Oh no, I was almost done. But yeah, basically what I said is these are 3 questions. I like to always break them down into questions, current state, outcome from what their current state is, and then going into future state, what I can potentially bring them, right? I always put value adds and the outcome of that. So you're selling an outcome, you're solving a problem. So,
you know, yeah, for sure. I like to ask questions like, what do you need for supporting documentation? Right? Like that helps me understand what my cost to serve, you love talking about cost to serve, what my cost to serve is going to be for this client. Right. And I operate a little bit more in a truckload environment than you do, but hey, what do you need to support my rates? What do you need to support my accessorials? Do you need, if we get a reclass reweigh, do you have to have the WNI with that invoice? right? Or
Yeah, you're
like
just-
you have to have that certificate, or like how do we handle those things?
So
That tells me what my cost of service.
I don't ever get so that's the thing is I've never brought on, like, maybe they've never stuck, but I'd never bring on, I won't even take a meeting if I don't get the invoices. Like, I have to have data to do what I do.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's how you're approaching, and it's great. It's awesome.
Kevin's on.
There he is. I texted him the link.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Straight. I'm just doing admin work. I have like so much stuff to do, so I figured pop on here. I was going through my old sales stuff, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna give some of this shit away.
Nice.
I got too much of it, so.
Kevin in the first episode of Put That Coffee Down. Kevin and Dooner talked about giving value before you get value, and all of this comes down to that. Because no matter what, if this ever ends up being a client for you, you've still given value to by the time you get to talking to the decision maker, you already have enough information where you can give value to that decision maker. That's the value in this stuff to me above everything else. So even if you don't do it perfectly, right? Even if you don't do it perfectly, and I'm a big I'm a big do this but do it quick, right? But you've given value. You're going to be able to give value to them before you have to ask for value in return.
I mean, 100%. It's like, that's literally like, it goes back to, it's like, because the way of, or my target customer, a lot of times, I mean, dude, I'd be in a Lambo if I sold every deal, right? It's like, but again, I'm
Lambo.
Yeah, right. I'm doing things like the initial first meeting. It's like, I think there's a lot of respect for it, because it's like, you've already done, like you said, you've already done all that homework, and I'm okay with I'd rather hear like a no on the beginning, because it's such a it's a longer process, and it's like, that's just a lot of time wasted. But no, you're right. It's like, this guy, it's basically, I know more about their company than sometimes they do. So,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
What do you think, Kevin? What do you think, Erica?
What would you say?
What do you think, Erica?
I know. What do you think, Erica?
It's a callback joke.
That's going to be the next tagline, right? What do you think, Erica?
So good.
I want to know who Tia is, but I want to hear what you say, Kevin. Sorry.
No, and Ryan, and I'm not quite sure exactly. Well, I do know exactly what you guys are talking about, but yeah, you have to give value. You have to give value before you ever even ask for value back or anything back, and you got to do that constantly, day in and day out. Do things for free. It kind of puts you in a position to get lucky. And
you're on luck for sure. Exactly. Totally agree.
Yeah, because if you're not doing that, you're not opening doors. You're not making connections. You're kind of staying still, and you're going to be constrained to track transactional, small time deals, because that's that's the effort you're putting out.
Kevin, what's like the number one thing you wanted to know before you went into a sales call? Because you're a big research before going in guy. So what was the number one thing you want to know before you went into a sales call as a broker?
The person's name. No.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but that was, I want to know. I want to know what kind of modes that they do, what kind of products they sell, kind of a little bit about their financials. Certainly, if they're a public company or if there's anything out there, a little bit about their culture, about how they make a decision. But I wasn't a huge researcher. I know we had a podcast where I think I went overboard on the research, but there's people who over prepare and people who don't prepare at all, just enough to ask really good questions.
Yeah.
Because they'll tell you everything. If you know enough to ask really good questions, but you don't want to know so much that you walk in and you think you know all the answers, because that's annoying as hell.
And it might not even be a value. So I always say that too. It's like, because yes, it's a given. If say this is a hypothetical situation, but if this was a real situation, which I've come across all the time, it's valuable, but it's like they might not see that as value, right? So it's like, I always say, it's to make sure it's like you could tell them that, and you can give your opinion, but it's up to them to actually see, is this a true challenge? Is it a big enough challenge? Is it a big enough value that what you can bring to the table to even take your meeting? So I think that's just like, that's the most important part. Is it's like, after, again, you've done your job. If the person's logical, they can see that it's valuable. But again, which usually happens, I just actually had something like that happen. It was like, Mike, I definitely want to give you the time. I can see where this is really going to be valuable, but we have to postpone this. So I was like, okay. So people normally can see some value. They just, again, sometimes it's just not a big enough deal for them. I personally believe, like, I don't know. I think like I used to be like friend, like friendly first and then value. And I've just seen that, like, it's just like more or less that go the wrong way, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I gotta go.
I'm gonna be on here just literally giving this shit away. I'm gonna do some admin work. If you're taking off, Kevin, I'm just gonna turn some radio on until the next person.
Goodbye.
I don't care.
Kevin, Kevin's got nothing else to do, right, bro? It's only a Friday night in Chattanooga.
I know it's a Friday night in Chattanooga, so
bro,
I'll hang out for a few minutes. I haven't talked to Demi in a while.
Goodbye. I'll see you guys in the text threads. Goodbye.
You know what? You know what I love, dude? I just don't care. Like I think I made him nervous.
Don't care about what?
Like he was like, dude, there's like 3 people on. I was like, oh, dude, I'm not doing this for the people. But
it doesn't matter.
I don't. I mean, yeah, like more or less. Like I was like, okay, if I got some free time to go on. But dude, it's weird looking through your old sales stuff. Like I literally was like, just some weird notes and stuff. But what's been up with you, dude?
Not much. I mean, going through old sales stuff. I mean, I've been looking for emails from 2017, 2018, and you realize, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. And you had people reach out to me, replying to an email that we'd had exchange in over 2 years ago.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's nice. People are like digging through their emails, looking for, who that guy was.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's funny you said that. You were looking through emails like I was too. I posted something the other day because you obviously know those emails. You see it you see it more frequently. I see it more frequently than I would like, but of the person that hates someone that, gives them a cold email and it's horrible, they'll screenshot it and belittle them. So I was like, why don't I just put my own up? That was horrible. And so I posted that. I've been looking for a ton. Like I want some, like that one wasn't like bad, but I was like, I don't know. I just feel like that's like, there's a lot of people out there. I just feel bad for some certain people because it's like that. There's a lot more of that going on. It's like bullying, right? So I just was going through like deep into my emails, like even like my personal emails just to see because I've prospected out of there. And I was just like, where's some bad ones? Like going through, I wish, and that's where I got into my, like, I don't know why I saved that stuff, but it's good.
Yeah.
I should just upload it to Drive.
Yeah, I go through my email evolution too, because I used to email everybody. I mean, when I say everybody, we probably send out a lot of emails still every single day, but we used to throw out 5,000 emails every single day.
5,000?
Yeah. I mean, we took it. I took it to the next level as much, and we're talking like a 1 or 2 man operation. I just built this list of freight brokers, automated it, and just started sending out emails every other day, every third day, fourth day, really spamming people. And then the thing is, it worked, but it was an evolution of how to write that email. It went from about 600 words, trying to fit in everything under the sun, to maybe 60 words.
Right
and
on.
it's just a value proposition. Are you having trouble right now finding capacity? Give us a look. And that was about it, because that's, no one has time to do anything else. But those cold emailing, it worked.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm never like I always say is like from a sales standpoint, like I know I'm always like I'm pretty like phones, but I mean, dude, whatever works, right? It's like just do you. But yeah, I'm horrible. Like it's funny, it's because like I minored in journalism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I lost that talent. But no, like I'm already wordy, like, and writing was just like, dude, I would spend even now, if I start feeling myself, like I don't ever really email, but if I start feeling myself, like I'm like, wow, I'm stressing myself out for the perfect email. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
because it just takes up. It's just not my thing. But well, anyways, you guys on lockdown?
We are on lockdown for the most part. It's we've kind of been on lockdown the entire time here in Chattanooga. I mean, the restaurants are open and things, but still face mask everywhere. Nothing's really happening. I'm getting on a flight tomorrow and flying to a lockdown place. I'm flying to Southern California for a couple 3 weeks out in Palm Springs. So
Vacation?
We'll see. Kind of a vacation. My sister hurt herself and broke her leg and going out there to help her out. But I imagine there'll be some golf involved,
right?
And just some warm, sunny California weather.
Nice, dude. Well, yeah, we're definitely they closed everything. I mean, it was the same as.
Where are you at again?
Seattle.
Seattle, that's right. Yeah. Did you guys ever really open up?
Yeah, I mean, surprised. I like it was funny is because like right when this whole thing hit, I was like, we're ground zero, right? And it turned out like we weren't as well. We had other issues with. Did you see that little thing they built, Chaz?
No.
Oh my God! Please, you gotta watch. So they built a community in like it's like downtown Capitol Hill. Like the police were like they banned the police.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was in Portland.
No.
It was in Seattle too.
They called it Chaz, but no. Long story short, it was on the pandemic. We were actually kind of mellow, and we opened up, and then they went back down, and then it was like right before this whole thing happened. I think it was just like the lockdown on Thursday or today or yesterday. Everything closes at like 11, and I'm so sick of going to Target and Fred Meyer's. Like, this really the only places you can go. And now it's like, oh well. I mean, this is it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it is. It's at least for the next few months, this is what we got to go through.
I think it's longer than that, brother.
I do too, but I'm saying next few months, maybe by mid 2021, life will somewhat return to normal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm more of a little bit of a hypochondriac, but not too bad. Like I even like if it like it's weird. I'm one that like doesn't even get flu shots, right? Because I don't really ever get sick. Knocking on wood, but it's like. This is just I feel like just mentally, it's just people are going to be like, are we going to want to be around? Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't even like seeing my friends because they're the type over here that they just been still like not listening to anybody. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, dude. All right, well, I'm gonna pop out of here, dude. It was great catching up, dude. Yeah. Dude. I'll see you around. This is what it comes to. It's like I'll see you around.
I know, right? I'll see you around here in live.
Safe flights, dude.
Yeah, thank you. Give me a text.
I got you.
In touch.
Definitely, brother. I'll talk to you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Later. Oh, I will have the. If someone watches this after, I'm gonna throw this in the. I'm gonna have to I gotta put it in a link, but I'll send it over to y'all. Or I'll just put it in, I'll just upload it on this. Before I take off though, seriously though, if any other type of material you think that would be good, it's all yours. Free, obviously. And yeah, I mean, I got some time because I'm going to be implementing. I got one large customer I got to implement. So I'm going to focus on that. And then I got another one. So I'm not going to be doing too much new selling. So we're just focusing, and I got some, I'll be around. So if anybody needs any kind of help, here. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I got one sec. Let me just not exit out of this. Yeah. So ask a question. Not just you suck.